By now, every high school in Pennsylvania has already turned in their enrollments for grades 9 through 11 to the PIAA for the state's reclassification over the next 2 years. Here's a look at the schools that were close to the cutoff last year and which schools could be moving up or down depending on how their numbers fare when they're released in the next few weeks. 2 years ago, the state expanded from 4 classes to 6, which meant nothing to the biggest schools like North Allegheny, who stayed in the largest class regardless. But schools like Penn Hills, Peters Township, Shaler, and Bethel Park were all very close to dropping to 5A. Penn Hills was actually below the 6A cutoff, but its co-op with Trinity Christian pushed the Indians up into 6A. Both Shaler and Peters Township missed that cutoff by just 1 male student, so they are likely candidates to move down, as is Bethel Park, which was just 6 boys away from the 5A class. Speaking of 5A, it doesn't look like any schools are close to moving up in class next month. Upper St. Clair and Plum are currently the largest 5A programs, but they were both 30 boys away from the 6A class. But there could be some teams moving down from 5A to 4A. West Allegheny was just 15 boys away from the 4A cutoff, and Hampton was very close to that number. Both could possibly be headed down in class. At the top of 4A, as far as enrollment goes, is Mars. The last time the state broke up the classes, Mars was just 2 boys shy of 5A. It's a growing district, so the Planets may be looking at 5A in 2018. Despite having the smallest enrollment in 4A locally, South Fayette has been one of the most successful. The Lions were just 6 boys away from landing in 3A 2 years ago, but South Fayette is also a growing area, and most expect them to stay in 4A next fall. Perhaps no team benefited from the expansion to 6 classes more than Elizabeth Forward. If EF had just 1 more male student the last time they counted them up, they would have played in 4A with the likes of Thomas Jefferson and Bell Vernon. Instead, the Warriors are one of the top 5 teams in Class 3A. Will they stay that way next year? Only time will tell. The PIAA is expected to release next year's classifications before the end of November, so it's possible we might have the answers to these questions before the WPL Championships on November 18th.